You guys know Bagon. Bagon is one of those dragon Pokemon that did not have the ability to fly. But after years of dreaming, it finally spreaded wings and is able to soar in the skies as a mighty Salamence. And that is the Pokemon that is featured in today's BDSP Wi-Fi Battle. Let's check it out. Alright, here we go guys, another BDSP Wi-Fi Battle. So our opponent Tori is going to lead off here with a Scyther, and I'm going to lead off here with a Donphan. Now the big thing with Donphan is that normally you're going to see them set up with some Stealth Rocks. I'm actually just going to go in for the Rapid Spin. Now the reason why I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin is because I want to boost up the speed stat of my Donphan. If you guys did not know, that is what happens when you use Rapid Spin. Not only will it take out any kind of entry hazards, but it will also boost your speed stat as well. So our opponent went for the U-turn. He actually ended up swapping out to a Hitmonchan. Now the big thing with Hitmonchan here is that I'm pretty sure I'm going to get hit by some pretty decent attacks. However, Tori decides to go for Rapid Spin as well, which is also going to boost his speed. However, it's not really going to do much to me. We're going to go in for the retaliation with the Earthquake, and that is going to be able to one-hit knock out that Hitmonchan. So that is going to be a very big thing for us, because I feel like Hitmonchan is going to be one of those Pokemon that you're going to worry about with his team. The next Pokemon coming in is going to be none other than Dragonite. Now Dragonite onto the field, I do have an Ice Shard. Now this doesn't appear to be a multi-scale Dragonite, so I'm a little bit confused as to why you would use any other, but it goes right for the Outrage here, and that is going to be able to knock out the Donphan. So that's going to be able to pick up the KO. Next Pokemon coming in is going to be very controversial. It is a Dewgong. There's been quite a bit of chatter over Twitter on Dewgong and what Dewgong is the best Dewgong. It doesn't really get to shine here, but my Attract Dewgong is way better than any other Dewgong out there. Prove me wrong, guys. So we are going to get hit by an Outrage here. That's going to take us right down into the red zone. We're going to be able to finish off the Dragonite with an Ice Beam, just picking up that KO. Bye-bye, Dragonite. Don't need to worry about it anymore. Definitely one of the biggest hitters on the team there we had to worry about. Next comes Snorlax. Now Snorlax is one of those Pokemon that has some really crazy special defense, but it has really high attack stat as well. So one thing that we're going to want to do here is we're going to go in for that Scald. So Scald, actually sorry, I don't have Scald. It's going to be a Surf. So I tried to get some Surf damage off on here because I know I'm going to get hit by an attack. However, this thing actually goes for a Curse. Now that Curse is actually going to boost up his defensive stats, his attack stats, but it is going to lower the speed. Now, this is kind of where I thought, okay, well, he's going to probably attack the second turn. We're just going to go in for the Ice Beam here, maybe see if we can pick up a Freeze, because you guys know, the Hack Scarves are usually pretty good with me. However, I did not sacrifice any Caterpies in this match, so unfortunately we don't get any kind of a Freeze. So we get another Curse with this Snorlax. It's going to be a little bit more scary than it was prior. And then, of course, with those lefties, any kind of chip damage that I do doesn't really do much. I decided I'm going to go in for yet again another Ice Beam here, hoping to maybe pick up a Freeze. It's probably got Thick Fat now that I think about it. However, he goes in for the Body Slam. Body Slam is going to be enough to pick up the KO onto the Dewgong. Dewgong would have done a little bit better maybe if it was able to get a burn and an Attract off, maybe if it was like a female Snorlax. However, we decided to go in with our Murkrow here. Now Murkrow just goes right for that foul play. It actually manages to get a decent chunk of damage. However, with the Body Slam from the Snorlax, we almost get knocked out if it weren't for our Focus Sash. So Snorlax onto the field, definitely a big concern considering I seem to have allowed it to set up. It is a Prankster Murkrow, of course, so we're going in for the Thunder Wave here, hoping to paralyze the Snorlax Snacks. He's going to go in for yet again another Curse. Now, knowing that Murkrow has Foul Play, probably not the best idea to go in and try to boost up your stats even further. Because the more attack stat that you have, the more that Foul Play is going to be able to do to it. Now, I do have Haze, which is definitely going to be very helpful in this battle. Haze is actually going to eliminate all stat changes that Snorlax just did. However, it does get one curse outside, which is okay. It's not necessarily setting up again, but definitely could pose to be a problem if we can't get this Snorlax taken out. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for the Taunt. Taunt is going to stop it from going for that curse. And then of course now we get the paralysis off onto the Snorlax, which means it can't do any kind of an attack this turn. So leftovers again, slowly bringing its health back up to par. We're going to go in for that foul play here, and that actually does a decent chunk of damage. However, we are going to get knocked out from that body slam. Quite the size difference in the two Pokemon. I would have thought that Snorlax would have been a little bit taller with this whole mod scenario, but that's okay. We lose the Snorlax. We're going to go in with the Salamence. Now with Salamence onto the field, that is one of the Pokemon that I'm featuring onto the channel here. This moveset for Salamence is pretty awesome. You definitely want to have the Intimidator ability, just because you want to lower any kind of attack stat on your opponent when you're in these battles. The biggest thing with this MENCE here is that we're going to go in for the Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance, of course, is going to boost up the attack stat and the speed stat. With the Aggron onto the field, there is definitely a concern that it may have Sturdy. However, we're going to just go in for the Earthquake here, and we're actually going to be able to pick up the KO, which is going to knock out that Aggron. So Aggron is now down and out. There's 3 Pokemon left on our opponent's side, and in comes the Garchomp. Now, you guys know Garchomp is definitely a big bad. It's a big threat Pokemon. We actually just end up knocking it out with an Outrage here. Luckily, we were able to outspeed due to that Dragon Dance, and that Garchomp's just not going to be able to handle it. So in comes Scyther here now. We get an Outrage, and it actually manages to hang on with a Focus Sash. And with a Focus Sash into play, we actually are going to get a little bit of health here. Not health, sorry. The Lumberry is going to break us out of our confusion. So he went for the Swords Dance here, and of course Swords Dance is not going to be able to do very much. We go for the Fire Fang, and our opponent cancels the battle. And Salamence is one of those Pokemon that you just don't want to mess with. But you know what? If you guys enjoyed the battle there today, be sure to post your comments in the comment section below. I would like to hear what Pokemon you would like me to feature next in a Wi-Fi battle. If you guys have any sets or any teams you'd like me to use, post them up. As always, take care, have a good one, and peace out.